Yeah, in the break, I decided let's take care of this height map first. It's kind of irritating me, and it's a relatively simple fix. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to grab up this map. I'm going to make a new layer. And then I'm going to either, well, get this tool or the lasso tool, and then go into select and mask. And here, I can feather this edge. Smooth it out. We can manipulate this. And get it to where we want it. Why is it being so laggy? So that's my feathering over there. Right, and I want to bring the contrast up too. Maybe not quite that high. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. I'm going to make a separate mask here. And I'm going to call this temp. I do this a lot. And I'm going to get another temp layer because we're going to need a second one. So we can kind of trade these masks off. I'm going to turn both of them off. And I'll drag this mask up in here, and then I'll drag this mask down here and see if that works better for me. Probably, well, maybe not there, but again, so we have, we have this original one, and it just saves going back and trying to figure out where you are in your history. So that's my workflow. I mean, it's not written in stone. But let's see if that'll soften that edge out for us. Yeah, where it's worked, it's worked. Because like right here, that looks okay now. But there's the places where it's still hard, it's like still stretched out. And we're gonna, I don't know. Oh, I think we might want to soften it over there too. I was thinking originally that we would want it hard, but they really look weird, sort of pulled out like that. So I'm going to have another go at this mask here. Let me just make a copy of it. Well, I guess I didn't. Well, it doesn't matter. Again, I'm going to get... no, I'm not going to do that. I'll leave it down here. I don't want to keep making new layers. I'm just going to pick it up here. I'll go to my temp layer. I have to turn it on for this to work, though. And I'll do this again. I'll feather it. And then let's bring the contrast up. Let's try that. So we will now, I can just make another mask here, and we'll delete this layer mask. So delete layer mask. And we'll pull this one down in here. Why am I still getting, that's why I'm still getting that. Let's turn that off just for now, just to see how that edge works. And we're going to work on that anyway, so let's just do one bit at a time. Yep, the height's always the biggest pain to work with. So those are looking good now. I like that. We're getting a height difference, but it doesn't look all wacky. We're still getting some wackiness here. So we will go back in and fix that. So let's turn this back on. Now this we can solve easily by, are we in the right one? Yeah, we're gonna get rid of anything that's in those white areas. So that got rid of that. And I'm still getting a bit of a weird edge there. I'm just going to come in here and with that mask set the way it is, again, I'm with a brush. Just come in, kind of fix that. I'm going for the simplest fix right now. So just very carefully. In fact, what I probably should do is come back to this brush that I had with the scatter on it. And that'll be easier. Because if I do go over the edges, it's going to give me something reasonable. Maybe smaller. Oh, I'm in the wrong side. That's why it's not working. Because I forgot to invert my mask. And I'm going to invert it back again. I'm going to hit X and then change this red to a white. I'll fix that here. And then I'll hit X again and invert my mask and come in here and fix these bits. And I think we're pretty well done as far as this. You know what? Why don't we just continue on and get these edges, but with a different brush. I'm going to come back to this harder brush, and we can come in here and just give it a straighter line. Don't like that line. You know, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to come in with a black, and I'm also going to do a new layer in case I don't like my results. And I'm just going to fill this up. And again, you know, I don't think you need to watch me because yours probably looks completely different from mine. But I'm just going to take a brush on a new layer and fill this with a flatter black, and I'll see you when I'm done. So decided after I paused the video that I was probably better off using a lasso tool and filling it. But before I do that, again, I'm going to go into Select and Mask, and I'm going to get this edge a bit more soft, I think, and maybe smooth it out a little bit too. Because I kind of want that same slope, you know, a bit sharper than what we have up here, but I don't want that super hard edge, you know, to give those pixels, you know, not to make that tessellation so sharp in the height map. And now I'm just going to go ahead and fill this with black. And is that what we want our... I was also very careful how I did those edges. I made sure that I stayed on top of the marks that I already had when I was going over the edge, but nevertheless, let's check out our offset. We don't need to do those. We'll do this one. And we'll do this one. And this one. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what we did? We forgot. I'm going to go back in my history. These layer masks kind of mess up the offset. I don't know why, but they do. Before we start offsetting, once we've like added these layer masks, I just select the whole image and then I crop it. And that's going to fix that problem. So let's do that again. Where did that come from? Oh, because we made a new mask. So we're going to have to fix that anyway. All right. So we might as well do that while we're here too. And that we're going to fix on our actual mask. And I'm going to get rid of this. In fact, we're going to get rid of, well, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'll have one, I like to have one temp layer, but things are starting to get a little crowded here. Are we using this for anything? That's just a color mask that we're going to put on top. In fact, that's exactly what I want to see here, because I kind of want to see what I'm doing. But we have to also offset this if we're going to use it. Okay. So I'm back to my layer mask. I'm going to just use this lasso tool, and I'm going to kind of fill out these edges. And we're going to go ahead back into a little bit here too. We're going to go back into our select and mask, and we're going to feather them kind of to match. I mean, I didn't mark down the numbers, so I'm just kind of eyeballing this, and then we had put in some contrast. Okay, and what we're doing now is we are actually adding to our mask white. So we're going to fill white. And we also have to remember to delete that. And we have none of these guys up on there. So that should do us as far as those edges. I know we've messed stuff up here, but it now works along the edges, and I can see that the cracks seem to be working fine. So let's go ahead. First, let's get rid of that. Let's go ahead and offset all these guys back again. And take a look at the mess we've created in here. Not too bad. It's actually not bad at all. So we'll just, in fact, I'm not even going to soften that edge up. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this with black now. Maybe not. It's giving me a weird hard edge. So let's come in here. We'll feather it out. And now let's do that again. Oops, I forgot to be on the layer mask. Okay. So that, I think, is solved, and then we can kind of do the same thing here. And let's feather it out. And put a little bit of contrast. Make sure we're on the layer mask and fill it with black. Looks all right. Okay, so let's export this out again. Something still, I'm this white stuff. I think this is oh, because we shouldn't even have that on. And I think I'm going to get rid of that altogether. I'm going to pick this color and I'm just going to fill it. And now all we have is this clean one that we made. And I'm going to just make a copy of it to strengthen it up. In fact, I think I'll make 2 copies of it. And we're just laying them on top of each other, and they're kind of strengthening the line a bit. It's also strengthening that because we put it on that layer. Oh, yikes. I don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to delete these things that we added from these layers that we just made. Oh no, where did I? It's in the mask. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go back in here. And try this again. I'm going to do very little feathering at this point, and I'm going to come in here with a brush and just do it with a brush, because obviously there were differences down here that we're hiding until we once we put a flat color in here. That there was stuff that obviously I didn't notice until it was flat. But this is just going to take a minute to take care of, and I'm just going to do it by hand. And now I'm going to reverse the map because I see a little bit of gray in there, and I'm going to switch my palette and get in there with the white. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here. So we'll make a new mask. I want to probably check this again because we're making some big changes to the edges here. So again, where am I? I want it black, like that. No. Let's come back in here. Yeah, this can take a while sometimes. Come back into my layer mask and try this again. And then switch to white. Take care of that. It's a little better. And let's just quickly, okay, this no longer needs to get flipped. This is no longer even in play. I'm just going to crop it just to be safe. I have no idea why they do that, so I don't know when to turn them on and off. And these I'm now going to combine into a single. No, I'm not. I'm just going to combine these black lines into a single layer. And now I'm going to offset them. Yeah, it was just getting to be a little bit too much as far as offsetting stuff. Yeah, close, but not quite there. I'm just doing this by hand now. And again, I want to be black, and I'm going to come in here and just kind of fix it. just so it's not quite so obviously sharp. I'm really going to try to stick to that edge now. Just like I'm really trying to stick to it now, and I'm kind of trying to do the same amount. I can always switch it back and then kind of go this way also. And just kind of finesse that. Yeah, and we're still picking up that map underneath, so I think that's probably okay now. Let's delete that. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I found we do have a problem here. So I'm going to get a sharper brush now. And I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to get black and just make these match up. And that should be okay. That gray is a little off. That's weird. Okay. I'm going to merge all of these. This is getting too confusing. Okay. So just for a moment, I'm going to get another layer mask in there. I'm going to just soften this up. Just in case I screw up, I don't want to have to go backwards. And I will now apply that layer mask. Okay, so let's switch it back. And now we have our height mask. So we'll go ahead and save that. And we'll see what we've done in here. Yeah, that's really smoothed those edges out. And we're coming up on 20 minutes, so I know we said we were going to do the exposed parameters in this one, but I think I'm going to do it in the next video. This height map, it no longer has, I mean, we could like fix the colors in here, and which we will once we've kind of done the procedural stuff when we fine tune it, because we can just like get this to be a little darker in here. But it no longer has those jagged pulled edges, and things are, things are as they should be. So we'll stop it here and then we'll pick it up in the next one.